When Luo Feng the madman finally put down his bloodthirsty blade and hid within a residential building to quietly wait for the end of the elimination, within the huge skyscraper of the 72nd world, the currently ranked 999 Hong was still fighting hard. Because it was the last day, the battles were incredibly intense and brutal. This was especially true between the group of people whose ranks were close to 1,000. They could rise anytime or drop anytime. I have to make sure I stay alive. The moment I die, I will lose half my points and I'll definitely drop out of the top 1001. In a destroyed house with broken windows, Hong dressed in all black closed his eyes. Also, I have to try my best to kill a few others and push myself forward a little more. Hong had many thoughts on his mind, but his entire being was incomparably calm and collected. As tranquil as a mirror. His entire being was incredibly relaxed, like a void, allowing him to detect any movement or noise around him. Among Earth's top 3 warriors, he and Thunder God had the longer lives, experiencing much more. Even though Thunder God too had some comprehension of the Chinese martial arts, his main expertise was in yoga. During the Great Nirvana he completely immersed himself in martial arts, his entire being loved the arts. With a pure heart, it was easy for him to fuse and reach perfection, allowing him to let his yoga fuse perfectly with himself. Hong was different, he was trained from a young age to be an assassin. An assassin's strength control was very meticulous. The Chinese martial arts helped him with his control of internal energy, along with his mental state control. As an assassin, he naturally formed his own path. And after the Great Nirvana, the base era, the Swallowing Beast incident, along with all the hardships and training, Hong had an impeccable control of every bit of energy and power within himself. This is why he became number 1 of the 3 brothers. Among the 3, Luo Feng was the youngest. In terms of comprehension, willpower and talent, he didn't lack any. However, he never received Chinese martial arts training. In close combat, his energy use and technique couldn't compare to Hong or Thunder God. However, Luo Feng was still the strongest among the 3. Firstly, his talent allowed him to become the disciple of the Yun Mo planet. Second, he sacrificed himself and immolated his soul, possessing the golden horned beast in that battle. This allowed Luo Feng to stand on a much higher stage, as he was able to compare himself with the countless clans and absolute geniuses within the vast universe's human race. Within the house, Luo Feng sat crossed-legged, quietly awaiting the end of the elimination. The elimination countdown, 60, 0.59, 0.58, 0.57, 0.56. A deep boomy voice reverberated throughout the survivors' minds in the 100 worlds, making many within these worlds get anxious and thus panic. I'm almost there. I was 1001 just now, right now I'm 1002. It's too late. Kill. You won't be able to make it into the top 1001. As long as you let me kill you, I'll definitely heavily repay you when we get out. Bullshit, heavily repay. There's no contract or proof of these things within the virtual universe system. It sounds good now, but if you simply deny everything later, can I even do anything? At the final countdown, it was madness within the worlds. Luo Feng just patiently waited. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teleport. The survivors within the 100 worlds immediately vanished and later the virtually simulated worlds too all crumbled and returned to nothing. Simultaneously, the final rankings were officially announced. The elimination has ended. The candidates have all been picked. Luo Feng was sent to the air above the island of Black Dragon Mountain. Die, 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 die. A constant beeping sound. Luo Feng, there are 371 call requests. Oh, right now it's become 398. Ah, it's continuing to rise. Babata's familiar voice spoke out. Ha, Babata, it's been a long time since I heard your voice. Luo Feng stood in the air above the Black Dragon Mountain. Beside him in midair there were many human silhouettes, all the survivors from the elimination. However, surviving didn't mean that they made it into the top 1001. Those worlds all have barriers against virtual assistance. Babata said helplessly, the virtual universe system is simple too strong, there's no way around it. Luo Feng nodded. Anywhere in the universe people could easily instantly connect into the virtual universe with their consciousness, allowing countless people to enter. Even within the virtual universe, countless secret techniques could be simulated, even origin laws could be simulated. This was simply too scary. Maybe the origin laws weren't even secret techniques within the virtual universe. Virtual Universe Company was after all one of the universe humans' 5 great leviathans. And the other 4 leviathans hadn't even grasped such level of skill. This Virtual Universe Company was the sole company capable of such a feat as building a virtual universe. It makes one afraid to even imagine just how deep and huge the company was. Right now there are 453 phone call requests and 892 mails. Babata said, "Let's leave the virtual universe first." Luo Feng's thoughts moved. Sure. His consciousness returned to reality and then reconnected back to the virtual universe. Sure. On Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-Star Bay, Luo Feng appeared at his own living area grass patch. Returning to the virtual universe from reality, it could be said that if one owned a property in virtual universe, they would always return their property the moment they entered the virtual universe. Hence, Luo Feng returned back to the 9-Star Bay Little District at his house. "Big Brother, 30. A familiar voice resounded. Almost simultaneously appearing at his own house entrance was Hong and Luo Feng. They both turned to look. It was Thunder God. Luo Feng and Hong both walked over. "You two did pretty good, one with rank 982 and the other 51. Thunder God frowned. "However, my luck was bad, essentially like stepping in dogshit. I unexpectedly ran into our world's savage. That guy is simply too abnormal. He definitely stepped into the gateway of the origin laws, as he decimating me with one move. That strong." Luo Feng and Hong were both somewhat shocked. Thunder God smiled. "If Big Brother and 30 met Savage, they'd definitely be a little better than me. You both made it into the top 1001. So there's a chance you'll meet him in the arena. I barely made it into the top 1001, still third brother is the strongest." Hong smiled at Luo Feng. 30 is very strong indeed." Thunder God nodded too. Hong and Thunder God, in terms of age, were much older than Luo Feng. They almost gave a mentor-like feeling, however it was clear that this little brother had a shocking amount of power. 30, work hard. The stronger you get, the brighter the future of our Earth will be. Hong patted Luo Feng on his shoulder. "Dad." Luo Feng. At this time a group of people appeared at the entrance. It was Luo Feng's family. The end of the elimination. Every world's top 1001 had made it through the elimination. A total of 100 worlds, a total of 100,100 people. At the same time every world's number 1 would immediately be placed in the final Namalist. The top 1000 of the Ganwu Universe country had the rights to participate in the Universe Humans Genius Battle. These 1000 would then represent the Ganwu Universe country, as they competed against the geniuses from the rest of the universe, bringing out the best of the best from the Universe Humans. The Ganwu Universe country had slots for 1000 people. Right now, those who came first in their respective world would be automatically given a spot. Hence, a total of 100 places were already taken. The remaining 100,000 would have to fight for the remaining 900 slots. Black Dragon Mountain Empire's Luo Feng, Hong and Nabini will compete amidst the 100,000 as only 900 of these participants would get the right to enter that final Namalist. The elimination rate was still very high. To be able to make it into that final Namalist, they were all absolute geniuses that everybody envied. They would make countless organizations and powers vie for them as their future elites and new seedlings. They were all capable of being regarded as cream of the crop. From the end of the elimination, the arena fights would happen a month later. However, this month, Luo Feng actually faced the problems of a celebrity. There were many powers within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire who came looking for him. Not just that, but even a few super organizations from the Ganwu Universe country had sent people over to look for him, hoping he would join them and put his name in their companies. Reject them all. Just tell them all that right now I'm immersing myself in training and putting my all into preparing for the arena fights. I can't be distracted. Luo Feng was helpless with this trouble and could only resort to this response. On the 16th day since the end of the elimination. Solar System, Mars. Luo Feng was on the sand-filled Mars, testing out his Nan-Shen armament. First form. Go. Return. Luo Feng controlled that dark golden long rod that became a golden rainbow and flew at breakneck speed and returned. And while controlling this golden rainbow's complex arc movements, it was very clear that his sense of control was still rigid, as he was unable to fully make it move like a flowing river. Within the arena fights, my opponents will all be extremely powerful. The lowest would at least be like my big brother. There will be many with similar strength to mine. There might even be others who are much stronger than me. Then, I'm afraid I'll have to use the Nan Shen armament immediately. Luo Feng was very clear that there were only strong opponents in the arena fights. He'd have to use his trump card from the beginning and push forward. Hopefully he'll make it into the top 1000. Only that way will he have the right to go compete with other absolute warriors from the other universe countries. Luo Feng, hurry into the virtual universe. Babita's voice resounded. Luo Feng was curious. Virtual universe Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-star base small district. When Luo Feng appeared outside his own home, he could see that his living room was filled with many guests. Big Brother, Hong and Thunder God are currently inside entertaining the guests. You should quickly go in. Luo Hua said as he saw Luo Feng. Who are they? Luo Feng asked curiously. Didn't he reject every organizations from coming here? It's the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's envoys who were especially sent by the Emperor himself. Luo Hua said softly, this special envoy team, I heard they actually brought an order from the Emperor himself. The special team is led by a sector lord and I heard that his position is extremely high. Also, within the team there's also the basic level universe country the Silver Blue Empire's Emperor. Silver Blue Empire's Emperor. Luo Feng was shocked. The Silver Blue Empire governed over the Milky Way's 8 great galaxies. This emperor actually followed a special team over. Their visit this time is mainly because of you. Luo Hua said. I'll go take a look. Luo Feng nodded, and walked briskly into the living room. There were a total of 11 people in that living room. Thunder God, Hong and the other 9 who no one recognized were all sitting at the long table. Third brother. Thunder God and Hong stood up. The other 9 turned to look, and simultaneously 8 of them stood up. Only one old man in the center with long silver hair remained seated as he turned to carefully examine Luo Feng, revealing a smile. Luo Feng, I, Byuda Asuka, am here on behalf of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's Emperor. My respects Lord Asuka. Luo Feng quickly bowed. Having been to the Ganwu auction and seen too many sector lords, Luo Feng could tell with one look that this silver-haired old man was a sector lord. All sit. The silver-haired old man smiled. Luo Feng too walked over and sat beside Hong and Thunder God. Luo Feng, there are 2 reasons behind my visit. 1, I really wanted to see this outstanding genius from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. This silver-haired old man, even his beard was white, his entire being seemed amicable and kind, giving off a feeling of friendliness. 2, because His Majesty, yes, His Majesty is paying very close attention to you. He values you and wants to handsomely reward you. Luo Feng was shocked. That emperor probably didn't know about his past incident with the 9th prince. Lord Byuda Asuka, actually I didn't do anything. I just did some of my own things only. Luo Feng said. No. The silver-haired old man shook his head. Luo Feng, this endeavor of yours has brought huge honor to our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The countless citizens of the empire are all proud because of you. You have given us immense contributions. Immense contributions. Luo Feng could only sit there and listen intently. Originally, the emperor wanted to give you a reward. The silver-haired old man looked at Luo Feng. However, he stopped when I advised him to not give you one temporarily. Luo Feng looked to the sector lord before him, even more clueless than before. I advised His Majesty. If Luo Feng is able to make it into the top 1000 of the Ganwu universe country, then he'll give you a galaxy. The silver-haired man said. A galaxy? Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were all shocked. From what I know, your first planet territory is Earth. Hence, as long as you are able to make it into the Ganwu universe top 1000, then Milky Way galaxy under the Silver Blue Empire will be yours. The silver-haired old man carefully examined Luo Feng and his brother's reaction. As he expected, Luo Feng and his brothers all revealed incredible shocked expressions. The Milky Way, that was the territory of the Silver Blue Empire. Relax, this is the Silver Blue Empire's Emperor Yi Wei. This matter is something the imperial family of the Silver Blue Empire has agreed upon. The silver-haired old man looked beside him. A handsome white-clothed man not too far away from him smiled and nodded at Luo Feng. I too have been wanting to meet Mr. Luo Feng. If Mr. Luo Feng can manage the Milky Way galaxy, that would be our Silver Blue Empire's honor. Luo Feng was stunned. Suddenly he realized and understood. Ganwu Universe Top 1000. One had to know that the Ganwu Universe country had over 100 million galaxies, on average. To be able to make it into the Ganwu Universe Top 1000, the warriors would probably all at least have domains of level 9, some even had comprehension of the origin laws. In the star level, and being so terrifying. These sort of geniuses, as long as they didn't die halfway and continued to grow, reaching the Sector Lord level was almost no problem. And these sort of geniuses who receive extra nurturing, they would become the strongest within the Sector Lord level. A Sector Lord would easily get a galaxy as a territory. Right now it was akin to giving a future Sector Lord a galaxy as territory. Even if Luo Feng died along the way of becoming a Sector Lord, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire and the Silver Blue Empire naturally had their own ways to reclaim the Milky Way. This reward is too huge. At the same time, making it into the top 1000 is incredibly difficult as well. Luo Feng's expression went ugly. Right. The silver-haired old man Asuka nodded and sighed. It is very difficult. Our country's martial strength is indeed weaker than the universe country's other starfields. In the previous competitions, we didn't even make it into the top 10,000. As for the top 1,000, it's been even longer since we even stepped into it. However, Luo Feng, you have hope. Here is some information that our empire has collected. The silver-haired old man pulled out a screen before him. He gently tapped it. I'll send these to you. Information. Luo Feng was suspicious. Simultaneously, Babata alerted him that he received mail and there was an attachment on it. Even though the eliminations weren't broadcasted, according to the names of the rankers, along with the already reputable strong star levels, we've collected quite a bit of information. The silver-haired old man smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. We've made a record of a total of 827 of the absolute geniuses that made it through this elimination round. They are all very well known and reputable absolute geniuses in the Ganwu Universe country. Take a look. This information may prove useful to you during the arena fights. Oh, Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Good stuff. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. After knowing the opponent's trump cards and being prepared for the battle, his chances of victory were much better. Thanks. Luo Feng thanked him. No need. The silver-haired old man smiled and looked back. If you can make it into the top 1000, Ayada Asuka will in fact have to thank you. I'll work hard. Luo Feng nodded. Right, this is one of the hopes of our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Make it into the top 1000 as you fight against the many geniuses from the other universe countries at least. Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire will have someone who's made it onto the universe human's big stage. The silver-haired old man's eyes gleamed with a sense of hope. He was a Sector Lord, and a very strong one at that. However, even amongst Sector Lords there were differences. This Sector Lord, compared to Jiang Tian Chen, his position and power was much lower. And Jiang Tian Chen, if compared to the virtual universe company Leviathan specially nurtured from young absolute geniuses, his position would be much lower. For the virtual universe company to have that level of Leviathan, they're specially nurtured geniuses. They were nurtured to not only become undying, but the strongest among the undying. Naturally, these were all too far away. From the star level to undying, it was too far and difficult. Many absolute geniuses have been stuck in the Sector Lord pinnacle for tens of millions of years before finally dying from old age. Work hard. In the Ganwu Universe arena, you represent the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Even more so when you battle against the peak of the other universe countries. The silver-haired old man anticipated. Right. Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God gathered and spent 3 days going through the information of the many warriors. 8th world ranked 3rd. Stronger than me. Hong's expression was serious. The screen before them was displaying footage. In it was a golden-haired tall and sturdy man with a golden scale on his forehead. He used 2 huge blades and when he waved them, they would become blurry and the surroundings warped. Even though the blades were obviously there, when the opponent tried to block they would block only air. One slash and the opponents would die. This person's light domain seemed even more terrifying than Hong's. This is savage. He is indeed very strong. Luo Feng squinted, his eyes filled with excitement. Right, that's him. Thunder God nodded. Indeed very strong. Hong's expression grew even heavier. Footage played continuously, many with words and information below. These were all the absolute geniuses' information the Black Dragon Mountain Empire had gathered. These geniuses, many of them were already well reputable even before the genius battle. They were already vied for and snatched up by many super-organizations. This punk. Thunder God stared. A similarly bald strong-looking man in the footage, actually used his fists as weapons, as every punch was incredibly brutal and powerful. Using 3 days to finish watching everything, made both participants of the arena fights, Hong and Luo Feng, begin to feel the pressure. There were indeed many strong warriors, as many as the clouds. They were only at star level, yet they were able to comprehend the origin laws. This was akin to a step to heaven. However, with the size and population of the entire Ganwu universe country, there were actually a few hundred such people. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, the date of the arena fights had approached. Qian Time Year 2066, July 16th, the day before the arena fights, virtual universe, on one of the floating continents above the Ganwu continent, there was an enormous meeting hall. The hall was extremely huge, with rows and rows of seating. This hall is really huge, it actually seats 100,000. Hong laughed as he exclaimed, the seats are very spacious too. This is still average. In the Ganwu auction, the seating space for each person was incredible. And there were 3 million seats, you couldn't even see the end of the meeting hall. Luo Feng said softly to Hong. Silence. A thick booming voice resounded. Immediately, the entire hall went silent. All that could be seen was a man dressed in a silver long robe who appeared at the highest podium at the front of the hall. His gaze swept past the 100,100 people below him. These were all the geniuses that made it through the elimination. The people that made it through the Ganwu universe country's elimination, 100,100 of you. The man in the silver long robe pointed beside him, and immediately a screen appeared with images of people. These 100 are the first of each world. Hence they immediately get awarded a spot in the final Namalist, and are eligible to represent the Ganwu universe country and go take part in the pinnacle fights against other countries. For the remaining 100,000, there are only 900 slots left on the list. The arena battles, are separated into the arena war and the 1v1 battles. The silver-robed man continued to speak. We'll first eliminate 90,000 people through arena war. The 100,000 will break into 1,000 groups, and every group will have 100. Each group will engage in mass battles on the arena, and the final remaining 10 are the ones that will be considered to have passed the arena war. Once you've passed the arena war, there will be only 10,000 of you left. These 900 slots will be filled from these 10,000. After the war, the 1v1 battles will begin. The silver long-robed man's gaze swept past the 100,100 geniuses below him, as discussions were rampant. The arena war, actually eliminating 90,000 people at one go. Too vicious. I heard, Hong said softly, that last time the Black Dragon Mountain Empire was completely eliminated in the arena war, without anyone making it into the top 10,000. Luo Feng nodded. During the elimination I barely made it into the top 1001. This arena war's elimination efficiency is extremely high. Hong said softly. Luo Feng replied, Big brother, in a war it's really hard to say, you still have hopes of making it through the war. Then it'll come down to the 1v1 battles. Suddenly a screen appeared before every genius in the meeting hall. On it were numbers from 1 to 1,000 etc. See the number before you. That is your group. The silver long-robed man roared. Tomorrow will mark the beginning of the arena war. The first 200 groups will start tomorrow, and the entire war will last for 5 days and end after that. Luo Feng looked at the number before him, 382, while his big brother Hong beside was in group 161. I wish all of you will be able to make it through the arena wars. The silver long-robed man's voice resounded throughout the entire meeting hall. We'll now send everybody off, go get prepared. Weng. The 100,100 geniuses within the meeting hall all suddenly vanished. China Year 2066 July 17th, the date of the arena fights. In the previous stage within the 100 worlds, there was no live broadcast. This led to the Ganwu universe countries over 1.3 trillion starfields, with countless universe citizens being completely anxious and nervous. After all, they could only see the rankings and not the battle itself. The start of the arena fights, however, was open for people to actually watch and spectate. This led to the sale of the arena tickets being extremely competitive, as they were selling like hot cakes. The arena wars were separated into 1,000 groups, and 200 groups would battle every day. The first day was the first group to group 200. The 3 Black Dragon Mountain Empire participants that made it through the first round of elimination, Nibini, Hong and Luo Feng, of which Nibini was in group 32, Hong was in group 161 and Luo Feng in group 382. Hence both Nibini and Hong were in the arena wars on the first day, while Luo Feng's group was scheduled for the second day. The virtual universe specially opened up a space with a vast endless river coursing through it. This extremely wide river that flowed through the entire space filled with islands. Every island had a dojo. These arena fights were to be held in these dojos. Island 01932. Within the dojo, there were countless spectators, and it was impossible to see the end of them. Amongst the spectators were Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God and their families. There's way too many people. Daddy, this dojo is huge. Ping Ping, who had his hair combed neatly as it parted down the middle, exclaimed. The area of the dojo is about 100 square kilometers. Luo Feng smiled. It can hold a maximum of 1 billion spectators. 1 billion? Ping Ping and Little Hai, the two children, were shocked. Actually, just a football stadium on Earth could hold up to 100,000 people. In this kind of space created just by the virtual universe, with huge dojos on every island, while accommodating 1 billion people was an easy thing to do. Compared to a football stadium on Earth, its area was at least 100 to a few hundreds of times bigger in length and width. Sister-in-law, sitting behind, Zhu Gang laughed. This arena battle has just begun and we rushed to get the tickets, however we still failed to get any. Luckily you have tickets, otherwise we'd have to watch the broadcast. It is very competitive. My office workers too haven't been able to get tickets. Luo Hua nodded. There's over 100 million galaxies in the entire Ganwu universe country. From each and every galaxy, even if just 10 people bought the tickets, it is more than enough for the tickets to become sold out. Luo Feng said, naturally, the sale will be intense. Big Brother and I made it through the elimination. Hence we have the privilege to buy first. This is the only reason we got a few tens of tickets. Just one ticket alone was hard to get. The atmosphere in the dojo was incredibly passionate. 1 billion people from over 100 million galaxies all gathered together. Just what kind of scene was it? Fortunately it was in the virtual universe. If this was in the real world, just the number of staff members required to manage them would be troublesome. Attention all. A sweet and clear voice resounded throughout the billion spectators' ears. The humans from Earth in the stands turned to look. Standing in the center of the dojo was a smoking hot brown-haired young lady dressed in a tight armor. As the distance was too far, the spectators couldn't even see her clearly. Hence, in mid-air a huge virtual image appeared, allowing the spectators to see clearly. The battle that's about to begin will be the 32nd group in the arena wars. Let me introduce the 100 geniuses from the 32nd group. First, Long Suo, from the Boya Empire. Previously, in the 82nd world, he was ranked 12. The beautiful brown-haired young lady's clear voice resounded in the 1 billion spectators' ears. Beside the current screen, a second screen floated in mid-air and the image as well as simple information regarding the genius Long Suo was displayed. Long Suo. Long Suo. The entire dojo suddenly burst out in cheers. All that could be seen was a large portion of the dojo was filled with people going crazy and cheering, shouting out loudly Long Suo's name. Their cheers resounded like thunder. Second. 3 Road. The geniuses were all introduced one by one. Finally that brown-haired lady smiled and said, Number 86, Nibini, from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Previously, in the 21st world he was ranked 860. Beside, the screen displayed Nibini's image and information. Rumble. Luo Feng felt as though his surroundings had exploded or something. Cheers that rumbled even the mountains and seas were heard as a large portion of the spectators around him were excitedly cheering. Nibini. Nibini. The cheers sounded as loud as thunder. Immersed in such an environment, it caused many to be unable to help but cheer and shout along. Ping Ping and Little Hai beside were waving their fists too, shouting till their faces turned red, Nibini, Nibini. Everybody's cheering like crazy. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God all laughed. The arrangement of the spectators was in accordance to the starfield they came from. Hence, Luo Feng's surroundings were all spectators from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield. And the participant geniuses and the various starfields they came from would all get special privileges when they bought the tickets. According to theory, with 1 billion tickets sold among the many starfields, every starfield would not even get 100,000 tickets. However, if the starfield had an active participant, then that starfield was allowed 1 million tickets. Because of Nibini's participation, the Black Dragon Mountain starfield was awarded 1 million tickets. This was the reason why there were 1 million citizens from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire in the audience. The previous cheers belonged to the other starfields. But now that the participant from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield was announced, these 1 million people all excitedly shouted and roared. 1 million people cheering, it was like an ocean altogether. This Nabini is quite handsome. Thunder God said softly and laughed. Nabini had a pigtail, and his entire person seemed like a leopard. I've checked his background, it's not bad. Hong lifted his wrist and the screen on it displayed a bit of Nabini's background. Oh, Luo Feng looked at it. Nabini was originally from an aboriginal planet, leading a savage life of eat or be eaten and battled against wild beasts from a young age. Actually, this planet was one of the territories of the Palace family, and it was specially used to cultivate special beasts that were used for training and war. Secretly monitoring this planet, the family discovered that there was a child who actually had shocking power. They immediately knew he was a treasure. They immediately sent people to take this Nabini aboriginal away. Since then, Nabini had stepped into the civilized ways of society and very quickly became a citizen of the empire. Somehow, he also became somewhat of a young master within the Palace family. The Palace family, a business family that owned a few tens of life planet territory, was not much in the vast universe. Ironically, the Palace family had offended a few enemies and aggravated a few large and powerful families to attack them, and the enemies actually had universe-level warriors. In a galaxy, a universe-level warrior was considered the land's emperor. The Palace family thus began to crumble. This battle, however, attracted the attention of a wandering sector lord. During the battle, that sector lord had noticed that Nabini had amazing talent and immediately stepped in to stop the slaughter. The sector lord's intervention made it so that the enemy family were too terrified to even resist, hence the Palace family survived. The sector lord took in Nabini as his disciple and brought him to the Black Dragon Mountain sacred land. Since then, Nabini lived in the sacred land and the rate of his strength increase grew even faster. He was the Black Dragon Mountain sacred land's most exceptional genius. Aboriginal, Luo Feng exclaimed, actually we too are aboriginals. Right, Hong nodded. I realized that I have a good feeling about this Nabini. Thunder God chuckled. During Luo Feng and his brother's conversation, that beautiful lady in the center of the dojo was revving up the crowd and atmosphere, excitedly shouting, "Attention all! Attention all! The arena wars will begin immediately, everybody, please count down together with me for those in anticipation of this pinnacle genius battle. 10, 9, 8.3, 2, 1, rumble." The entire dojo erupted and in the center human silhouettes appeared. It was the 100 geniuses that were introduced to everyone before from the different starfields. Nabini, Chi Ti Laki, Long Suo. Different cheers immediately erupted within the dojo. The cheers and roars of the dojo were almost like a shockwave. Luo Feng took one look and noticed Nabini amidst the 100. With a pigtail, his gaze was fierce, almost like a hunting cheetah. He carried 2 long and narrow blades on his back. He was also cautious and prudent as he paid attention to everybody. Let the war begin. A low voice resounded within the 1 billion spectators and the participants' minds. Silence. The dojo was suddenly silent, and the 100 geniuses in the center too made their moves immediately. Chi, Shu. Beams of lights lit up as the geniuses all dodged and moved swiftly. The unleashed domains too caused the entire dojo to be covered in multicolored radiance. The colorful energy waves revolved about, and the geniuses were all either dodging and fleeing or exchanging blows. Everything was as fast as lightning. The war was very dangerous, because one had to defend against sneak attacks. That Nabini is sly indeed. From the spectators, Thunder God's eyes gleamed. It doesn't matter, every single one of them are just as clever. Luo Feng's eyebrows creased. The space in which the geniuses were battling in was constantly shrinking, forcing those on flying spirit weapons to have no way to flee far enough. The geniuses were constantly dying off. The number of deaths rose constantly. 8, 14, 29, 36. This caused the 1 billion audience members of many starfields to watch with bated breaths, some even with long sighs. However, the intense battle still caused everybody to hold their breaths and not make any loud noises. Nabini held his 2 blades and his entire person became a gust of wind as he madly defended against the enemy's spirit weapon. When Nabini was engaged with this other spirit reader, from the distance another genius flew over, simultaneously controlling a cone spirit weapon to become a beam of lightning and shooting over. HMPH. With the lightning shooting over, Nabini dodged while using his left blade to block. Pa! The lightning caused Nabini's left blade to be knocked away and he revealed a look of shock. That strength, it's too strong. That lightning followed closely and pierced through his forehead. Nabini died. The number of deaths swiftly continued to rise, 73. 0.78, 0.82, 0.89, 0.90. The 30-second group arena war has ended. The number of dead and eliminated is 90. The remaining 10 have the right to enter the 900 slots Namalist. A low voice resounded within the 10 survivors and 1 billion spectators. All the spectators in the stands finally let out all sorts of noises, be it sighs, rage or even excited cheers. Nabini has been eliminated. Thunder God shook his head. His strength belonged to the lowest of the 100. The only reason why he survived past the first half was because he was sly and clever. Hong shook his head. Being eliminated too is normal. I'm afraid I wouldn't do much better than him. Big brother, do you think I still don't know anything about you? Thunder God smiled. I still remember back during the Great Nirvana, you and I both were young, and we met with danger time and time again. Even in the most dire of situations, you always made the impossible possible. Don't flatter me, Hong said. Let it go, big brother, let them see the skills of us humans from Earth. Thunder God said. Luo Feng too was anticipating, watching Hong. Hong looked at Thunder God before turning to look at Luo Feng. I can only try my best. Hong revealed a smile. The 3 from Black Dragon Mountain Empire that made it through the elimination were able to participate in the arena war. Nabini, however, had already been eliminated. One had to know that this arena war was broadcasted live. Among the trillions of people in the Black Dragon Mountain starfield that had watched this battle, many were enraged and broke wine glasses or bottles, and many more were angry and unsatisfied. That punk from the Bu Luo starfield is too treacherous, he actually snuck an attack on Nabini. That bastard. Nabini shouldn't have lost. He should have been able to make it into the top 10,000. In today's arena war, our Black Dragon Mountain Empire still has Hong. Hong will definitely win, he'll definitely be able to make it into the Ganwu Universe country's top 10,000. Brother, that Hong was among the lowest of the ranks that made it through the first elimination. For him to survive in the arena, that's going to be very hard. I think Luo Feng has the biggest chance. That Luo Feng will definitely make it through. As for Hong, he too will be able to do it. Who knows, maybe he purposely hid his true powers during the elimination. Virtual Universe, Dojo number 10,389. About 3 hours after watching Nabini's arena war, the 161st group battle in Dojo 10,389 was about to begin. The entire dojo was filled with cheers and roars, and the beautiful commentator was introducing every genius one by one with a small description. Number 93, Hong, from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, ranked 982 in the 72nd elimination world. The beautiful lady introduced Hong, Hong, Hong. In a particular region among the spectators, over 1 million people from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire shouted loudly, almost as though they were declaring, this genius Hong was from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. And amongst the cheering crowd, Luo Feng and Thunder God creased their eyebrows. Big trouble, Thunder God said softly, I didn't expect that Savage would be there. Right, Luo Feng too held his breath and waited, as he worried for his big brother. Everyone was powerful, having been able to make it into the arena battles. Especially the group in which Hong was in, with the Savage that had killed his second brother before. Very quickly, the countdown began and the dojo roared as 100 absolute geniuses appeared in the center. Big brother, Luo Feng picked him out with a single glance. Within the dojo, Hong carried in his hand the long pike, his gaze cautious as it swept his surroundings. This circular arena spanned a diameter of about 30 kilometers. During the course of the battle, the space would constantly shrink, forcing the faster flying people to have nowhere to dodge. After about 15 minutes, the area would shrink to a diameter of only 1 meter. Hence, every arena war battle would at most last for 15 minutes. Amongst these 100, the strongest should be Savage. Hong swept his gaze past the 99 others, his mind swiftly picturing the information he had seen before. Also, there are 3 others that are very strong. First engage with the weaker ones and survive. Then fight and risk it all after. Hong quickly remembered the information. He was very clear that if he fled far at the start, he would definitely become the targets of the absolute geniuses. It would be better for him to mix in the crowd at the start. As for surviving in this war, Hong was pretty confident. Let the battle begin. A low booming voice resounded within everyone in the dojo's minds. With a shrinking area of 30 kilometers, the arena would only have a diameter of 1 meter left in 15 minutes. Rumble, rumble. Mad amounts of energy flows erupted. The 100 geniuses within the dojo swiftly began their battles. Receive my blow. That messy-haired, tall and sturdy youth roared. His bare feet only took one step and yet he managed to close a 100 meters distance. That fierce slash sliced towards a spirit reader, who didn't seem to expect such speed from the opponent. He was shocked as he tried to dodge while using his spirit weapon to block. Clang! The short blade cut down. His power couldn't be blocked. It was akin to a mountain crushing down on one. That spirit weapon was knocked aside and the short blade immediately sliced through that spirit reader's head, causing it to split open into two. Ha ha! Ha ha! The tall and sturdy man laughed. Walking barefoot, every step he took allowed him to travel a large distance. His instant increase in speed was very fast, faster than even most flying spirit readers. Surround and kill him. Everybody team up and kill him first. Someone shouted. Shoo, shoo. 2 spirit weapons shot over. Dang, dang. The short blade moved in a waving motion, easily blocking the 2 spirit weapons and knocking him far away. Surround and kill me. The tall and sturdy youth was like a monster, actually traveling amidst the crowd, making the 10 or so that wanted to kill him unable to surround him. On the contrary, that youth very quickly settled half of that group. This savage's path was simply a slaughter. Even though these 100 were all absolute geniuses, no one could actually match up against this savage. This battle, there was no doubt the most outstanding was Savage. Other than Savage, there was a lady whose performance was also extraordinary. She was dressed in armor and was incomparably valiant. One could tell just from her figure that this was an extremely sexy and hot beauty. However, her aura and her gaze were filled with brutality. Also, her kills were all clean, making it so that no one could tell that she was a lady. Chi-Chi. Wielding the long pike, Hong was engaged in battles amongst a group of geniuses. One could only see geniuses falling down dead one after another. Hong, however, was still alive. Ang. His pike was like lightning, swiftly and suddenly piercing through a genius's forehead from the back. Hong's expression after killing someone didn't waver at all. He still remained amidst the crowd, as his pike danced around, seemingly normal. However, multiple attempts from many spirit weapons were unable to pierce his defense. Time passed and the deaths rose to 60, 61, 62. As the numbers shrank, the group battles too lessened. That valiant lady stared straight at Hong. In the universe, there were many that used such pike weapons. However, those that used pike weapons normally picked the hard and sturdy ones. The one Hong used, however, seemed more flexible. The moment it began to dance around, it was like a huge snake, extremely peculiar. Interesting. The valiant lady wielded her 2 blades and flew straight at Hong. Not good. Hong's expression changed. During the group battles, he had long observed and come to the conclusion that within this group, that lady warrior was definitely one of the top 3. Only Savage was a little stronger than her. He didn't expect her to start rushing towards him. However, since the enemy was rushing over, there was no way to dodge. He could only invite the battle. Ang. The pike revolved, just like a loach in water, swift and nimble as it immediately pierced towards that lady warrior that was rushing over. Interesting, interesting. The lady warrior's eyes were filled with excitement, as her body emanated a green energy. The waves wrapped around the 2 arc blades. She began to wave them and the blades danced about, slashing towards the tip of the pike, causing a formless revolving energy to be transmitted onto the pike. Hong's expression changed abruptly and he immediately retracted his pike fiercely. As soon as he did that, with an explosive sound he raised the pike with his hand, and almost like an axe, he fiercely chopped down at the lady warrior. Peng! The lady's entire being became a fierce torrent of water flow, as an arc blade fiercely received that strong attacking force from the pike, following which she stuck closely to Hong and continued her attack. In an instant Hong felt like he was almost sucked into a whirlpool, and unable to escape. This lady warrior already has some comprehension of the water origin laws. I'm in big trouble. Hong was panicking. The ancient Chinese culture had always heavily emphasized the 5 elements of gold, wood, water, fire and earth. Even though Hong walked the path of the light domain, he had a very clear understanding about the laws of water. However, understanding it was one thing, whether he could actually outmatch her was another. If she's like water, I'll become like stone. Hong didn't have a choice. He grit his teeth and the surrounding light warped and his entire being became extremely glaring. The pike's speed immediately raised another gear. Once the pike was fully unleashed, it was like a tortoise shell, without any openings at all. Dang, dang, dang. The Lady Warrior's water origin law-infused slashes were all extremely heavy and powerful, giving off tremors that Hong felt as though they were impossible to block. If one had not stepped through the gateway of origin laws, one is useless after all. Hong suddenly understood this logic. Hong. In the 1 billion filled dojo, many Black Dragon Mountain Starfield people were very nervous. And there were even more people watching through the broadcast. Virtual universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island above, floating island, those that lived in the floating island were all at least a universe level. On a particularly large but simple-looking villa, within one of its living rooms. A man sat there who was dressed in a dark red robe. There was a lightning mark on his forehead. This person, was one of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's most powerful sector lords, Jiang Tianchen. And beside him, there was a kind-looking old man with a head full of white. This black-clothed punk is from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The old man seemed interested. His light domain, from the looks of it, seems to be level 6 or so. However, he is really a genius at battle. His flexible but strong pike is actually able to allow him to unleash his domain to this level. This is even comparable to those domain level 8 punks. Domain level 8 was not necessarily stronger than domain level 7. It all relied on one's ability to unleash its strength. One theory. Maybe one had a comprehension of the origin laws. However, what determined the strength in a battle was the knowledge of how to actually use the laws in battle. For example, Luo Feng, using the soaring shuttle when compared to the Nan Shen armament, the power was completely different. That was because, through the Nan Shen armament he was able to actually let his comprehension of the origin laws explode. Yes, Head General, he is from our empire. Jiang Tianchen said respectfully. The old man smiled. Head General. That title, if any other sector lord from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire heard that they would be shocked. In the Three-Axe Mountain Organization, a sector lord's rank was that of general. And the Three-Axe Mountain Organization had 3 original founders. Only these 3 founders had the right to be called head general. Three-Axe Mountain, as a leader of the 4 large organizations within the Black Dragon Mountain Starfield, even the Sacred Land Black Dragon Mountain and Ice Leviathan Sacred Land wouldn't be willing to mess with it, because of the 3 founding members of the Three-Axe Mountain. The 3 founding members were all awarded the Domain Lord, Huge Axe, title when they were young. A Domain Lord Huge Axe Warrior, when compared to the universe-level Huge Axe title, was much rarer, at least 1,000 to 10,000 times rarer. Although the 3 of them came from different starfields, they got along extremely well, even becoming bosom friends in life and death. Because the 3 of them had the title of Huge Axe Warrior, they decided to build the organization Three-Axe Mountain. They were made of 2 men and 1 woman. Their names were Lament, Molly and Luo. Of the group, Lament and Molly both became undying. Only Luo, this legendary warrior from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, remained stuck at the pinnacle of sector lords. However, he was known to be invincible amongst the sector lords. Ever since about 100,000 years ago, he vanished within the Black Dragon Mountain Starfield, and no one ever saw him again. No one knew whether this 3rd founder was alive or dead. He's from our Black Dragon Mountain Starfield. This question revealed this head general, the founding member from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The 3 founding members all came from different starfields. And the one from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire was Luo. Do you have this punk's information? The old man said. Yes. Jiang Tianchen replied respectfully, very quickly sourcing out the information, and said softly, his name is Hong, he is close to the other 2 youths Luo Feng and Thunder God. They're rough information. They should be Earth's aboriginals from our empire's Milky Way galaxy. Aboriginals. The old man's eyebrows creased slightly. Right, however this is a conjecture from our Three-Axe Mountain Information Department. Jiang Tianchen said, also, Hong, Luo Feng and Thunder God all took part in this time's genius battle, and the most outstanding isn't even Hong, it's Luo Feng. There's one even more outstanding. The old man revealed a shocked expression. Yes, that Thunder God ranked 5,128 in the elimination, Hong was ranked 982, Luo Feng was ranked 51. Jiang Tianchen said respectfully. The old man slightly nodded, looking at the screen before him that was broadcasting the arena war. He said, shocked, "This Hong, in this critical time he actually broke through. His domain actually rose from level 6 to 7. Oh, that lady unleashed her strength. What powerful blade techniques, continuous and unrelenting, heavy and powerful, that Hong cannot withstand it anymore. Oh, what a pity, he still died. There's no way around it, the difference in power was simply too much." Jiang Tianchen was quite shocked. Head General Luo rarely ever spoke so much. Right now it seemed as though he really cared for this Hong. Luo, there was a legend in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Even the two sacred lands, Black Dragon Mountain and Ice Leviathan, the two god leaders would show respect to Luo. Firstly, Luo's two life or death buddies were undying. Secondly, Luo was indeed very strong. Jiang Tianchen's reputation was mostly only within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Luo, however, had a reputation enough to even make the million sector lords in the Ganwu universe country respect him. If not for him getting distracted and working on the time origin laws, he probably would have become an undying long ago. Sigh. Jiang Tianchen looked at the old man before him. The elder Luo that led him by hand before, was sighing endlessly. Is this life? The head general has changed his mind, not being overambitious like before, wanting to perfect his light origin laws and break through to the undying. However, he met with that unexpected calamity, getting stuck for over 800,000 years. Wasting the final most important bit of time. There's only 20,000 years until he reaches the limit. Lord, how can you punish the head general this way? Jiang Tianchen had a bitter taste in his mouth. Of the three founders, Luo was the most exceptional back then, and also the most ambitious. Man was helpless to the hands of fate. The 161st group of the 1,000 arena war groups, the battle was over. The spectators let sighs. Sitting in the stands with the other Earth people, watching Hong's body within the arena, they felt helpless. He still lost. Thunder God shook his head helplessly. The opponent was indeed too strong. Luo Feng shook his head, feeling some of the origin laws, one's strength will have an absolute change. Even though Big Brother lost rightfully, it's still a pity. Yes, a pity. Hong had indeed done very well, even to the point of staying to the last 20 or so. However, he was killed by that lady warrior's ultimate move. Let's go, return home. Luo Feng stood up. 30, it's all up to you now. Of the three from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire that made it through the elimination, only you are left. Thunder God stood up, saying softly. Just me. Luo Feng's ears moved, he could hear the discussions around him. This region was filled with over 1 million from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield. Obviously, Nabini's and Hong's straight failures had left the trillions of citizens in the Black Dragon Mountain starfield sullen. Right now, all their hopes were transferred to Luo Feng. Luo Feng will definitely win. Right, he made it to rank 51 in the elimination. This arena war will definitely be an easy win. Luo Feng is our empire's most powerful genius. Luo Feng is definitely hiding his true strength. His true strength must be even more powerful than his ranking. His sudden jump in the later parts of the first stage proves that he wasn't even giving it his all. Only towards the back did he begin to gain points. If he had started right from the beginning, he definitely had the possibility of rushing to the top 10 in his world, even the top 3. Well said, just like that. Tomorrow Luo Feng will take part in the arena war. I've already bought my tickets. Luo Feng will definitely wipe them all out. Wipe him out. Many Black Dragon Mountain Empire citizens who wouldn't accept the losses were discussing. After all, the one they had the most hopes on from the beginning had always been Luo Feng. Third brother, I've lost. You have to work hard. Hong said so. 30, do as you deem fit. Thunder God said. Even I can make it to such high ranks in the virtual games. My daddy is the strongest, he's definitely the strongest in the Ganwu universe. Little Hai said. Luo Feng, work hard. Our entire Black Dragon Mountain Empire's countless citizens are watching you. This was what the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's emperor had said to him over the phone. Luo Feng, Luo Feng, Luo Feng, Luo Feng will definitely succeed. He'll definitely win. Definitely win. The entire Black Dragon Mountain Island, almost all of its citizens, the over 1 trillion citizens on the island cheered and roared through the night, some in bars, while others in plazas and public gatherings, hundreds of thousands to even millions of people gathering to watch the broadcasts. Luo Feng, the only Black Dragon Mountain Empire citizen left within the genius battle. If he won, he would become the pride of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Madness. Luo Feng felt a stifling atmosphere. Daddy, the virtual games I play even have country wars. Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire against the other empires. Little Hai, that's a virtual game. Zhu Xin laughed and said, your dad is doing the real thing. To rank number 1 in a starfield, even in the virtual game I am still an absolute warrior. Little Hai said. A silent Luo Feng finally looked shocked at his son. What game are you playing? A war-related game. Little Hai chuckled. Night passed and the day began. Even though countless from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield were about to come to the arena and begin the madness, Luo Feng himself was standing alone in the wilderness of Earth, on a skyscraper's balcony in a dilapidated city, quietly sitting there. Caw! A group of flying-type beasts, the blood crows flew high above. In this dilapidated city, beast sightings were common, only occasionally seeing human fighter tracks. However, Luo Feng didn't suppress and naturally unleashed all of his willpower and aura. Naturally, all the beasts and human fighters didn't even dare to get close to him. Quietly sitting on the balcony for a while, Luo Feng was controlling his mental state. According to the teachings of his first and second brother, whether it was yoga or martial arts, they both heavily emphasized one's mental state. Training of the mind was very important. However, in the universe there wasn't anyone who talked about training the mind. One's mental state may seem very trivial, without much effect on one's battle ability at all. No matter how strong a normal human of Earth's mental state was, a universe-level warrior could easily turn him to dust. Exploding in rage, at times it allowed one to break past his limits and unleash more strength. However, they may also cause one to lose his form. This was mental state. According to his brothers, from what they saw, the reason why both of them could have their domains at Star Traveler level was linked to their mental states. Thunder God could in an instant enter absolute peace, becoming one with nature, fusing with the elements. Hong too could in an instant become completely void, blending with his surroundings, combining all his senses, domains, and other things together to unleash his greatest strength. Thunder God and Hong took decades of training to reach that level of mental calmness. Luo Feng couldn't do it. Emptying the mind and soul, I can't do it. Because I'm under the influence of the golden horned beast's bloodline, I'm constantly filled with killing intent. This is something deep in my bones. However, second brother is right. Whether it's rage, hurt, happiness, excitement, killing intent, they are all natural reactions. Maintaining a pure mind, everything will happen naturally. When it's time to laugh, I'll laugh. When it's time to rage, I'll rage. Luo Feng thought, wanting to kill too is a naturally thing. With a pure mind, I'll face it and accept it. Naturally I'll be able to reach a point of pureness where all the elements will blend together. Luo Feng understood the theory, however when the killings really happen, Luo Feng could at most maintain an ice-cold state, without any rippling. As for pureness, blending with nature, that was very difficult indeed. Luo Feng, the arena war is about to start, you should enter the virtual universe. Phew. Luo Feng opened his eyes, his gaze cold. Not suppressing his killing intent anymore, naturally releasing it. Looks like you are different, has the meditation helped? Luo Feng didn't answer, saying directly, connect to the virtual universe. ... Virtual universe, in the space where there were many dojos located, island number 29109, there was a dojo and in its preparation room, geniuses sat in chairs, all ready to slaughter, all of them were absolute warriors. Who? A black-haired man in a dark grey armor appeared from thin air. In the preparation room, the geniuses all turned to look. This black-haired man surveyed his surroundings and glanced at him, not speaking a word, immediately finding a seat and sitting down, closing his eyes, calming his mind, awaiting the battle to begin.